Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the Right Side of Cree. So I'm just stopping in just for a quick minute. I'm on my way. I'm actually in the office this week, so I just thought I'd do a quick video to speak a little bit on procrastination. That's definitely a trait of mine that I've been guilty for a very long time. Procrastinate. So where I go with that is um, just any daily part of your routine that you know you have to do. Or could just be things that you'd like to do, not mandatory. And maybe because it's mandatory is probably the reason why you don't push hard to get it done. Um, Deadlines, when I have deadlines and things like that, I do get it done. Um, I'm not late logging in, I'm not late for work. I don't do any of that. Now, have I ever been guilty of that in life? Sure. But I think as you mature, as you guys get older, a lot of that tends to change. Not 100%, but for a lot of people, it just tends to change because you get into routine. When you're not dealing with small kids, you're not dealing with any of that, then in most cases, it's usually a little easier. So my procrastination is really just getting started with trying to do some, things on the side outside of the norm, outside of my 9 to 5 ways of making money and things like that. So I have been dragging my feet a bit on that, and I'm it's again, it goes back to your mental health. So when you got a lot of other variances going on in your life, whether you know negative or positive, because you could be planning for somebody's wedding or birthday party. That's going to keep you busy, and you have probably a deadline and you just have to get things done. So me, so much that I'd like to do, what I've been training my mind to do is to slow down and try to focus on one thing at a time. So that I haven't been completely successful at doing. I'll be honest, and that's just because in my spare time I try to find and think of ways to um, be be better at my 9 to 5, or to just to have a flow, a workflow, because this is not one of those jobs where you just take a call and you say, hey, welcome, blah, or thank you for calling, whatever. And it just doesn't work like that. Oh, they're inquiring on a bill or something. I don't handle the billing. I'm on the back ends, trying to get the claims paid out. um, so that's enough in itself. That's stressful enough. That's probably, I guess I'll say that's my number one stressor in life, and that's because it controls everything, and that's making a living. So I've talked about the side hustles. I've also talked about just trying to get a business started of your own. Now, I know when I was doing side hustles, anything 1099 related, it was, you have a little more control of that, because you decide pretty much when you're going to work, what days you're going to come out. You don't control your tips, of course, but if you're good at customer service or just a pleasant person, you work for your tips just naturally by having discussions with your clients that get in the car. So DoorDash, not so much, but uh, anything Uber, Lyft, stuff like that, you have that opportunity to try to work toward your money, as or your tip rather. um if it comes natural to you, then that shouldn't even be an issue. When I was doing mobile notary, I did that for, I don't think it was quite 2 years. I think it was about a year and a half. Um, I really enjoyed that because I was in control of what assignments I would take from, as a contractor from different services, to go ahead and get that and get, the paperwork signed. So I had more control of that. I did enjoy doing that because, well, that was the first reason. But, and I already knew what I'd be getting paid. And second, really, it's just because, I enjoy talking with people. So when I was out there driving, I was a mobile notary. So I was out there driving to my assignments, my appointments. I didn't have a problem taking assignments that were a little bit of a distance in a whole nother county because, I like the road. So, I used to like getting on the road and driving out, and, it would give me peace, you guys. You just don't, for people who don't drive, or maybe you don't drive long distance, that just gave me peace and serenity just to get outside of the city and, just enjoy the scenery. So, I would do it. Plus, when you meet with people, you're going to, you're meeting with them, and they are, they're waiting for you. They just want to get their business taken care of. And then, hold on, you guys, I thought I had, sorry, I thought I had something on the screen. But, it gives them a chance to talk to somebody outside of their household, especially if they don't work on the outside. So, I would run into a lot of, when I was doing, what do they call that? The, oh gosh, I'm not sure. It'll come to me in a second, you guys, brain fog. But when you're dealing, oh, the reverse finances. So most reverse finances, they're going to be customers like over 60, over 65, taking a reverse, uh, a reverse mortgage out on their property. So, older people, they tend to, they want to talk because they have time on their hands and they like to meet other people. I used to have some of them, I'm telling you, I would go there to get paperwork signed. Next thing you know, I'm having breakfast with them, or I'm having lunch, coffee a lot. It was a comfort. People can sense, uh, things with other people. So if they ever felt threatened, I'm sure they wouldn't have done that. But, my assignments, I even learned from some of these people as far as like what they do for a living. And, a lot of people like to talk. They like to talk about it. So if I had a tight schedule, and I had maybe a tight schedule for me was 5 or 6 assignments in a day. Because you want to, I think I used to schedule each person for about an hour and a half. I really, that's on a tight day. I used to like to schedule them maybe every couple of hours. So if I started, let's just say I had an assignment first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock, um, I used to like being done with my day by maybe 4ish, possibly 6, because sometimes everybody's appointments didn't align. Um, and that's just the way it is. But you can move, I used to move them around a little bit if I needed an extra 30 minutes and I knew it would be tight because of the distance from, we'll say, the first appointment to the second. Then I would try to loosen things up. So I usually was really good with the scheduling part. So I did get that down packed for the most part when I was doing it. But it was just enjoyment of the people, and knowing that I had the control, the freedom of my schedule and how I pay my bills, and, based on how much work I do. I also know back in the day, and I can't do it anymore, but when I used to wait tables, that was also a fulfilling job because, again, you get to encounter people and learn about them. They learn about you. You learn things, just running into different people. So I can say I've always been that type of person. I do generally like people. I like being around them. But I think, during that 2020, time that we went through, we had to practice a lot of isolation. I think that was a little bit, we were a little bit more isolated. But I was doing the notary. I was doing the notary during that time, so I wasn't really completely isolated. So now I'm at this point in life. When I went back to a 9 to 5, I was actually doing security for a while. I was doing security for a couple of years, and then I decided to go back into customer service, which that's a form of customer service, but I was going back to the desk. So that's when I left security to come here and work insurance. So property claims. So doing this, um, I like helping people, I do. But again, it's all the schematics and stuff in the back end. It's a stressful job. It's very stressful for me. So I'm still up in the air about how I want to handle things. Because I know there's nothing perfect in life. There's no such thing. You just have to go where you're complete. And I'm at that age now where I just, you know, doing the 9 to 5, doing it in the way that I do, working for somebody else. That's I think a lot of our biggest hang ups. And I think I really, when that time 2020 came, that was a reality check, as far as what I wanted to do, and from here on out, and that sort of thing. So I'm still in that mindset. I am still, my that is my goal, and I'm not going to give up. I am going to create or do something that I can do on my own. It'll be hard work, and I'm okay with that, because even when I was doing the notary, I felt more in control, but still I knew that I had to do things so that I can make money. And I enjoy doing that job. So I did enjoy doing it. I felt it was mine, even though it wasn't 100% mine. Um, I still felt it was mine. So I'm working on that. So hopefully you guys are out there, you got a game plan. You may even already have something set up. If you have any ideas, let me know. Drop them down in the comments. But yeah, I definitely think it's a good idea for, you know, um, having that second and third stream of income. So that way, when you are ready to retire or ready to leave your 9 to 5, you can do it with comfort or with ease, because you know that you have a background. You have something in the background to work for, excuse me. So you definitely don't want to retire not doing anything, because anybody I've seen, once they retire, it seems like they're almost no good for anybody. You want to keep moving, okay, and you want to keep your mind active. You just want to be able to enjoy it. The stress is going to always be there, because this is the world and the life that we live. You're not going to be stress free. The biggest business people, the billionaires, they even go through stress, because they're trying to maintain their billionaire status. So anyway, you guys, it's just kind of a rant today. You guys enjoy your day. I'll talk to you later. All right. Thank you. Take care.